Good morning. Well, this will probably be the last one I do from my little house here. That being said, it's a nice day to do it. A little on the hot side. And I'll get the transfer case changed out in that truck. You know, I was thinking last night about the talk that I gave the other day about people that come in and out of your lives. And there are people too that are in your lives constant, that never leave. And I couldn't help but think of my mom and dad. To me, I had the greatest parents. I mean, were they perfect? No. Could my dad stick his boot in your ass a little too tough sometimes? Yeah. Could my mom get a little bit too much on the religious side? Most definitely. But man, I have great parents. I think to myself about my dad sometimes, and I think, geez, if he wouldn't have been my dad, if I'd had somebody less of a man, somebody that didn't step up to discipline me the way he did, I'd probably be in prison somewhere. I could be a handful. But he made sure that I feared him more than anything, and in a good way. Took me fishing, hunting, taught me things that to this day I haven't forgot. Gave me little sayings, little things that he always said that were true. One thing that he always told me, he said, "Kid, you come into this world alone and you're going to leave alone. So take care of yourself. Nobody else is going to worry about you like you do." And you know what? I think he's correct. Besides him and my mom, my mom, poor woman, has been a sounding board for me my whole life. I mean, I probably talk to her 2-3 times a day and tell her everything, you know. But she's never let me get away with anything. Never. Anytime she's thought maybe that I should be held accountable for something, she's held me accountable, and she's made me question myself and how I could be a better person, or when I was married, how I could be the ultimate husband, which I don't know. Maybe I'm just a slow learner. I don't know, but always there for me. And you got to count those people in your life. You got to count those blessings that you have. When things get tight, when things get tough, when you feel like giving up, think about those people. Maybe you don't have a mom or dad that were in your life that way. Maybe you have an aunt or an uncle or a friend that was in your life that way. But look, think about those people. And those that are related to you in a blood way, think about the DNA that you have in you. My dad went to Vietnam 2 or 3 times, and he came back. I mean, I think about what he went through and how tough he was. You'd go hunting with my dad, and he'd outwalk everybody. And he wouldn't shoot at anything first thing in the morning. He'd let everybody else take their shots, whatever. By the end of the day, if you didn't have yours, boy, he's going to get everybody's because he was just fast. And he wasn't worried about hunting for trophies or anything like that. He just wanted good meat. He wanted to get home. And I just learned from him, man. I can remember watching him walk, and he was just amazing, strong, just keep going and going. Everybody would be like, man, couldn't keep up with him. And my mom, always working, always hard working, never hardly complained, just go do it. Strong woman, very strong woman, always made sure us kids were up to snuff, always made sure that we were clean, always made sure that the house was clean. Do you think about those people? Do you realize that you have them inside you, that you have that DNA in you, and that you hold a responsibility to them to some degree with your life, and in a positive way? I don't mean that when things get bad you think, oh man, I'm disappointing them, I should take myself out. No, I want to make them proud. I'm going to show them that I can get through this mountain. I can get through this tough time and do it in a positive manner, in a positive way. I think sometimes we forget about those things. I think we think about everybody else. And remember, your parents are always there. My dad always told me, he said, let me tell you something, kid. I'm the one person that's never going to lie to you. Does that mean that I do everything my dad says or my mom says? No. In fact, I wouldn't even be speaking right here, right now if I did everything that my parents wanted me to do. I'm not saying that you can't live your life on your terms and be your true, authentic self. What I'm saying is you have a DNA in you that is special. I don't care where you come from. There's something special in there, and every person has it. But do we look at those things ahead of time so that when we get into those dark places, when we get into those tough times, we remember who we are? We remember. Like for me, I think to myself, I'm Gonzalez, I'm Montano, I'm Garcia, I'm Romero. I got those names in me. I got those people behind me, whether they're here still or they're gone. Do you remember that about yourself? And I think that's important. And if you still are lucky enough like me to have your parents, do you tell them thank you? Do you really tell them thank you? Because everything's perception. You could look at your life and say, wow, my parents did this and they did that and they were terrible parents, whatever. You know what? They got you to where you are now. They got you to the age that you are now. And it maybe they didn't. I don't know. Maybe your life's different than mine. But for me, my parents got me where I'm at now. They got me alive. They got me through all the tough times. Every time something bad happened, I was able to get through it. And I believe that I'm in a place in my life now that there's nothing but good things coming ahead. In fact, most men aren't really great till after they hit the age of 50, and I'm right there right now. So I'm looking forward to some good things. And if you're not at that age now and you're going through the struggles, just think of it like this. You're a bodybuilder. You're building your muscles. You're building your body now so that when the time comes, you're ready. Anyway, with that, have a great weekend. I hope everything goes well for you, and we'll talk to you again.